Hello, this is Michael Rubin, and it's a couple of days after Father's Day. I'm wearing my new hat that my family graciously got me for Father's Day. It also has a black band. I mean, this is a very special Father's Day gift. And here we are, coming up on the end of June 2014. And if you want to get a little late Father's Day gift, I'm still offering till the end of June 2014. A 2-for-1 harmonica lesson special. Currently, at the time that this video was made, my lessons are $50 an hour. So for $50 sent to my PayPal address, michaelrubinharmonica@gmail.com, you will get two harmonica lessons. So this offer is for new and returning students only. Thank you. So I was reading on Modern Blues Harmonica. Somebody was saying, why should you tongue block? What is the purpose? So I thought I'd talk a little bit about what tongue blocking means to me. So first off, let's just talk about the basics of tongue blocking. Let's say you wanted to play hole number 4 blow. If you put your tongue on the harmonica to the left of hole number 4 and play hole number 4 out of the right hand side of your mouth, you are tongue blocking. There is more than one way to tongue block. But one thing that I find very helpful that a lot of people do not seem to understand is that when I tongue block, I put the harmonica deep into my mouth, beyond my teeth. So I literally touch the harmonica with both of my sets of teeth. Generally, my teeth touch around 40% into the cover plate. The harmonica doesn't want to stay put without my hand, but so yeah, I am literally touching the harmonica with my teeth, top and bottom, and the harmonica is inside of my teeth. In general, I think it is best to have a 4-hole spread with your mouth. What I mean by this is you want to open your mouth wide enough to play 4 holes. And you can kind of test this by playing 1 blow, there's an A harp, and 4 blow, saying, okay, I got to get both those sounds in there when I play a chord. And you can also play 5 blow and say, I don't want that sound. So if I hear that little 5 blow sound, I got to pull back, I got to reel it in. Okay, now, if you're opening wide enough to play 4 holes and you need to block the holes to the left with your tongue, you need to block wide enough to block 3 holes with your tongue. This is why I highly discourage tongue blocking with the tip of your tongue. The tip of your tongue is very narrow and generally can only block 2 holes. What I instead recommend you do is either tongue block with the top front of your tongue or the bottom of your tongue, which is both wider surfaces and can easily block at least 3 holes, if not more. Why would you block so many holes with your tongue? Because one of the main things you do with tongue blocking is take your tongue on and off the harmonica, going back and forth between a single note and a chord. You want your chord to be big, at least 4 holes. Because a big chord is a bassy chord. It is low in pitch. Part of the problem with the harmonica is that the harmonica is annoying, high-pitched. And so one of the things you try and do is counteract that annoyance with things like muting, making the harmonica a little bit quieter, or playing bass notes, playing the low pitches on your harmonica. You don't have to do this. This is just kind of my concept of why you want a big chord, because you want a bassy chord. People like bass. At least I like bass. So, yeah, so you don't want to use the tip of your tongue. Most people use the top front of their tongue. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I was friends with Gary Primage, and unless he was messing with me, which is certainly possible, Gary told me he used the bottom of his tongue, and he would put the tip of the tongue on the top cover plate. Excuse me, it's tough for me not to get an octave there. So as you can hear, I'm not very skilled at that particular method, but it definitely works, and I wouldn't be surprised if Gary wasn't the only one to do it. But I also would say that, Gary had a very distinctive tone, and although he was not 100% tongue blocker, when he was tongue blocking, if what he said to me is to be believed, this is what he was doing. And so if you want to achieve a tone that is similar to Gary, this might be a good way to do it. You have to consider every little thing you do on the harmonica makes a difference. So if you like the way somebody sounds, if you like the way Norton Buffalo sounds, you really need to consider U blocking. Curling your tongue like a U. Okay? We'll talk about that maybe another day. So, what most people do, and what I do, is they use the top front of their tongue. In order to do that, you can do one of two things. You can put the tip of your tongue on the bottom cover plate, and then roll your tongue up. Now remember, your tongue is deep, your harp is in your mouth. So the tongue is actually further back in the mouth than it might seem. Or you can do my method. I'm not saying I invented it, but it's what I do. If this is the back bottom teeth, here's the gum line, and the teeth are 10 feet tall, I put the tip of my tongue 9 feet up, and then I push against my tongue, arcing it up, push my tongue against the teeth, arcing it up, and here's what touches the harmonica. Now, because the harmonica is within my teeth, it really looks more like this. Okay, so when you move the harmonica right and left, all you need to do is push the harmonica, you keep your tongue in the same place, and you go from hole to hole. Now, if you have a 4-hole spread opening with your mouth and a 3-hole block with your tongue, when you push the harmonica to your right and you play holes 3, 2, and 1, you will not be able to block 3 holes. When you're on hole number 3, you're blocking 2 holes. When you're on hole number 2, you're blocking 1 hole. And when you're on hole number 1, you're blocking 0 holes. There are many approaches to handling these holes. I have more than one thing that I do. But my main approach is to continue with the 4-hole spread 3-hole block. So that when I'm playing hole number 3, my mouth is open wide enough that if there were 4 holes to play, I would be covering 4 holes with my mouth. And if there were 3 holes to block, I would be blocking 3 holes to the left with my tongue. So basically, I'm blocking holes 2 and 1, and I put my tongue over this little black part here to the left of 1. So it's the same position. I don't move at all. When I do hole number 2, I again act as though there are 4 holes. So you can kind of see my mouth is hanging off the harmonica by this point. When I do hole number 1, same thing. So you can actually see my tongue out of the left side of my mouth. Now I'm holding it in my hands so nobody gets grossed out. Okay? But I keep the same position. I don't change. Other concepts would be to shift to puckering on hole number 1, or a smaller block on, if you play hole number 2, just block 1 and 2. If you play number 2, if you play hole number 3, block holes 1 and 2. Play hole number 2, block hole number 1. And the last idea is to shift so that you're playing out of the left side of your mouth. So if you're playing hole number 1, instead of playing out of the right side of your mouth with your tongue to the left, play out of the left side of your mouth with your tongue to the right. This can enable you to make big jumps. Let's say I wanted to play 1 draw, then 4 draw. Right? Now some people can do this switch very, very fast. There is an argument in the harmonica world as to whether or not this is genetic. That some people can do this and some people can't. I believe it is not genetic. However, there is a genetic predisposition to this. I have many students who I say, don't worry about getting a clean single note. Just put your tongue on the harmonica, blow a chord, and wag your tongue left and right as fast as you can. They are so fast that I will never be that fast unless I practice my behind off for the rest of my life. However, I believe you can improve your speed as much as you're willing to put into practice. When I first started doing this technique, I was turtle slow. I spent hours and hours and hours a day working on it, and now I'm at a reasonable pace. Am I super fast? No, I am not. Do I believe I could get super fast with work? Yes, I do. Is it worth it to me? Not right now. But yes, you can build speed. That's my belief. One thing I will say in my search for speed is when I took the Gary Primich method and put the tip of my tongue on the top cover plate, I was much faster with the left-right thing. Okay, so there's more to talk about with tongue blocking, but that's a good place to stop right now. All right, we'll do some more later. See ya.